What's up, guys? Has anybody been working DoorDash lately and noticed just how cooked it is? Like, it's the worst. And if you're in a saturated market, I feel so bad for y'all. And I'm the same way. I feel bad for myself. I work in a very saturated market. And it's just a long time ago when I used to do DoorDash, I actually did make quite a bit of money, when COVID happened. I guess I had a false sense of how good it could actually be, working for yourself, working for DoorDash. I come to find out, DoorDash likes to do that a lot. The new Dashers get all the good orders and they get all the good offers, the good miles and everything to kind of get them hooked on to it and try to keep them. But I've come to slowly realize over time, DoorDash is actually probably one of the most evil companies I've ever had to mispleasure of having to deal with. They always send you garbage offers. They want you to drive 5 miles for $2. The fact that the base pay is $2 is what's crazy to me. And when I started back in COVID, the base pay was like $3.50, and now in my area it's $2, which is insulting. You can't make any money off of that. And then in my market, like nobody ever wants to tip people. Getting a tip is like a luxury experience. And then to make matters worse, in my market it is so saturated because where I live, it's very, and I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. It's very overpopulated with foreigners, and specifically like the Haitians. Say what you want, they are like coming over here and literally taking everything. Where I live at in Ohio, it's a very high manufacturing town. There's a lot of factories here, brings that a lot of jobs, but a lot of those factories are full of Haitians, and some of those factories don't even do background checks. Some of the factories even change their entire process, to accommodate to do their religious ceremonies that they need to do. I tried working at one of them a long time ago, and some of them they take showers in the sink. Not like they're not standing in the sink, but they're washing their feet and shit in the sink, and it's absolutely disgusting, which is surprising, by the way, because even though they're cleansing themselves and you can see them doing it, they're probably the worst smelling people I've ever had to deal with. But anyway, a lot of them do the DoorDash, and in my town, when you go to pick up an order from whatever place you got to order from, you can see like there's always a couple of them in there with the DoorDash phones trying to communicate with the employees, but none of them know how to speak English. So the employees are like stressed out. Obviously, the employees know that they're looking for a DoorDash order, but a lot of times, they're trying to ask them something, and it's, there's nothing you can do about it. And these are the ones that they're taking all of the good offers, because they'll literally take anything, to get any money. And the way DoorDash is designed is you're kind of at the mercy of them. Like the people that take all the orders, they're more likely to get the good orders, but people that actually value their time, and they're not going to work for free, and they decline all of the bullshit offers and they decline all the bullshit double stacks, you kind of just get screwed in the end. Because I had an issue now, and I'll throw some screenshots up of some trash offers I've been getting lately. But I had an issue where I would have DoorDash turned on for like 6 hours. And I live in a hot zone. Like the hot zone's always covering my house. So I'll turn it on, and before I drive over to the restaurants, and like an hour will go by and I'll get nothing. And then I'll drive over to the restaurants and I'll sit in the parking lot of like McDonald's and nothing. I'll sit there for like an hour, and then I go home. About 2 hours goes by, and then an offer comes in. Guess what? It's for like 9 miles for like $2 or like $3. Happens all the time. So I called DoorDash up and I'm like, hey man, like I feel like there's got to be something wrong with my account, because like I never experienced this before, and I don't believe that this is supposed to be happening. And they're like, no, it's just your acceptance rate's pretty low, and if you want to start getting more offers, more often, you need to start accepting the orders and doing them. Get your acceptance rate up, and then you'll start getting better orders or just more offers in general. And I was like, but the only offers I do get like every 6 hours is like 9 miles for $2. You guys want me to just not make money. So pretty much I told the rep, I'm like, what you're telling me is I need to work at a negative negative cost to hopefully get the privilege, that great privilege to have you give me some type of order that makes sense. And a guy comes back and he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you to do. That's the only way you're going to be able to get any orders is to fix your acceptance rate. And if the system's only giving you high mileage orders for base pay, that's just what you got to do, if you want to get back to doing those orders. So I said, fuck you. And I hung up. And so I still do it now. Just periodically, I have like an actual job, but sometimes if I want to make, extra money to treat myself with some good food that day or whatever it may be, I usually just use it to get extra gas money or extra, food money so I can go out and get something to eat, every now and then. But other than that, I haven't really been doing it that much anymore. And then for some reason, YouTube does its thing. It's been suggesting DoorDash content to me all the time. And that's when I kind of noticed like everybody's going through this right now. Some people are getting good offers, like in high volume cities. I'm not in a high volume city, but it's not the smallest city either. It's just super saturated. But from what I'm seeing is everybody's having this struggle. And it's just not only me. If any of you guys do DoorDash, if you could kind of just tell me what your experience is, man. Is it good? Is it bad? Are you getting low offers for, good pay? Are you getting stuck doing the high mileage base pay offers that DoorDash keeps trying to fuck around and get me to do, which is just, it's never going to happen. But that's all I got for today. I'm going to talk to you guys later. I'm coming up with more topics and stuff to talk about until this channel really starts picking up. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace.